Alright. Hey guys. And today I'm about to review or react to the history of Japan by, as you can see, Bill Wurtz. I've seen a lot of people say something about this, saying, this is much better history than channel documentary about Japan. I mean, there's a lot of people liking about his videos, saying something about how his videos is way better than how the teachers in Japan teach their own history. So why not kick it off with something like this? And well, I have not subscribed yet, but I will subscribe if deemed right. So if you guys want me to subscribe, matter of fact, if you want to subscribe to my channel, I'll subscribe to his, only if you guys made me pass 3,000 subscribers, and then I'll subscribe, and I'll make sure to post that on the communities tab page of my YouTube. And I've seen a lot about this video, people reacting about it. I have not watched this video yet, and this is my first time watching this, and see what's going on about this.
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes, and it's beautiful. In the year negative a billion.
This nonsense. Okay, whoa, this is intense. Okay, it's only 5 seconds and too much. Wait, hold on. Let's do that again. Hold on. Wait, what just happened there? Hold on. Before I want to continue, make sure to put on thumbs up, subscribe, share this video. Actually, matter of fact, share the live stream video that's gonna be up very soon or already been posted. Thank you guys for watching and currently joining this video, and make sure to sit down, relax, and have like something to eat or something. This is 9 minutes long, and I'll probably make it much longer on the analysis of this reaction of mine. Naturally, what is this nonsense? Already 5 seconds in, and it's already really strong. Okay, relax, dude. Alright, Bill, see.
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes, and it's beautiful. In the year negative a billion, Japan might not have been here. In the year negative 40,000, it was here, and you could walk to it.
What? Oh yeah, because of timekeeping. If you have watched the previous video of mine, how I said that 2023 is 2064, I'll link it up into either one of those corner of the vid. You guys are now okay. You guys want to text to me? Okay, I understand. Make sure to go check that out and subscribe. Negative 40,000 years ago. My goodness, I'm thinking China, because of the migration of the way how it's moving. I mean, Japanese, it's isolated by in itself. 40,000 years ago. What would you be doing 40,000 years ago? That's a good question. Just chilling, making wine or something? I don't know. Oh, to be referencing, if I remember, yes, there was a archaeological site that was found in one country that specifically, yes, Romania. It was Romania. They found an archaeological site of the oldest wine production factory or facility in a cave. If I find it, I'll put it down in the description. It's an interesting read. it's a little side thing that I just made up. I mean, what would you be doing in Japan 40,000 years ago? Uh, Isolated in an island, doing nothing. Let's see what's going on. Hold on. 40,000 years ago.
To it, and some people walk to it.
Yeah.
Then it got warmer, some icebergs melted, it became an island, and now there's lots of trees because it's warmer. So now there's people on the island. They're basically sort of hanging out in between the mountains, eating nuts off trees, and using the latest technology, like stones and bowls. Ding dong, it's the outside world, and they have technology from the future.
Okay, yeah, that was way too fast, but I like how he's taking his time and making sure every second feels like every 2,000 years or 3 millennials, because it's that slow. You see, as my recollection of my statement have I made in a previous video said something about time is not the same. It's not. Time is excuse me, what was it again? Pardon me. How time is not valued the same way for different people, or that's the way how I structure it. But you can always go back and check my original video down in the description, or is in the card. But at least that's how I see it. It's been already 2 weeks now, so by me it's been that long. What was it again? Yes, he said
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes, and it's beautiful. In the year negative a billion, Japan might not have been here.
A billion? Hold on, excuse me. He said billion?
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes, and it's beautiful. In the year negative a billion, Japan might not have been here.
Yeah, cause yeah, makes sense.
In the year negative 40,000, it was here, and you could walk to it, and some people walk to it.
Yeah.
Then it got warmer.
Because of the water being very low, or either that or the ice. Land bridge could be a possible way how they can go over there. Interesting. And he said
some icebergs melted, it became an island, and now there's lots of trees because it's warmer. So now there's people on the island. They're basically sort of hanging out in between the mountains, eating nuts off trees, and using the latest technology, like
hashtag squirrel. Put him in the comments. Put the squirrel emoji down in the comments.
Stones and bowls. Ding dong, it's the outside world, and they have technology from the future, like really good metal and crazy rice farms. Wow. Now you can make a lot of rice really, really quickly. That means
at least that's for the case at the time. But nowadays we have rice machines, and that's a whole different subject.
If you own the farm, you own a lot of food, which is something everybody needs to survive.
Facts, 100%. At the time, it went from Stone Age to Iron Age. Iron Age changed dramatically how resource allocation could affect the society at the time, and it did. And yes, and if you're a minority in that land, most likely you would own the land. Actually, technically, you would influence on how to share policy, in which policy here hence that policies are going to affect how food allocation procedures will go about in their society. At least that's how it is. Since everybody has equal opportunity, that's not the case most of all, unless you're smart enough to understand these methods of allocation or mining, where you could install form of structure where organization itself, or at least a governance of it itself, to here hence create jobs and these jobs, and then also influencing these jobs to create more products or services. At the time, this was not such a thing. It's more like a role type base. I find that interesting. he said,
religion, he said. No, said everybody. Try it, he said. No, said door. The most important kingdoms were here, here, here. Food, which is something everybody needs to survive. So that makes you king. Rice farming and rice kingdoms spread across the land, all the way to here. The most important kingdoms were here, 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 and here.
Yamato and Koshin is no joke.
This one was the most important, ruled by a heavenly superperson, or emperor for short. Knock knock, get the door, it's religion. The new prince wants everyone to try this hot new religion from Biekt. Please try this religion, he said. No, said everybody. Try it.
Alright, let's stop here, and if you guys are already seeing the live stream already opened or not, you can always go down in the description, watch it, or in the cards. Yeah, so I find this interesting. Culture is the only way of domain to understand the influences of these structures. As he was now elected emperor in Yamato in 251 BCE or something, give or take, pardon me.
The land all the way to here. The most important
223 or around there equivalent.
The farm, you own a lot of food, which is something everybody needs to survive. So that makes you king. Rice farming and rice kingdoms spread across the land, all the way to here. The most
223 AD. Okay, pardon me. Okay. Negative is representing BCE, and 223 AD is when he was elected as emperor or founded the imperial throne or structure of a government. At least that's how governance technology, or at least research of a government, a type of governance, existed at the time. At that given time, at 223 AD. You can always correct me, guys, who are living in Japan or have these form of connections in your families or whatnot, what you have it. Go down in the comments, or if not, if you don't feel like it, that's fine. You can always share this to individuals who are in your group, and yeah, let's continue with this bit. So this says,
most important kingdoms were here, 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 and here. But this one was the most important, ruled by a heavenly superperson, or emperor for short. Knock knock, get the door, it's religion. The new prince wants everyone to try this hot new religion from
593 BCE, Buddhism, yeah.
Biekt. Please try this religion, he said. No, said everybody. Try it, he said. No.
So Buddhism came from, technically, Buddhism is created from Korea at the time. Well, before, obviously, Korea didn't exist. The term of organization didn't exist at the time. I think it was the same timing around where the three kingdoms were, if I remember. Correct me.
Said everybody again, quieter this time. And so the religion was put into place, and all the rules that came with it. Then the government was taken over by another clique, and they made some reforms, like making the government govern more, and making the government more like China's government, which is a government that governs more.
That's somewhat realistic. Yeah. So they're becoming more restricted. That makes, because the resources are much lower, debt is becoming unquantifiable, so the only way you can influence is culture. So that's what they did. So they changed the domain by influencing using culture, and hence that happening. Chain of events happening. See that Tang Dynasty. Sorry, excuse me. China.
Hi, China, they said. Hi, dipshit, said China. Can you call us something else other than dipshit, said Japan. Like what, said China. How about Sunrise Land, said Japan.
Yeah, they literally copied China's way of language because they don't have a form of language, they don't have a form of numbering or numerical system, so they created their own in the form of culture. I'm gonna go also review this with my country's vids and stuff, so I can always come back to that. Share me a version of a video of something like this about Ethiopia. I want to see what that's all about. That's where I'm from. So make sure to, before I continue this, make sure to like, subscribe, share. You don't have to comment it. I know for sure.
And they stole China's alphabet and wrote a book about themselves. And then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about them.
Honje? I butchered again. Hold on.
Said Japan. Like what, said China. How about Sunrise Land, said Japan. And they stole China's alphabet and wrote a book about them.
Record of ancient world or something. 1711 BC. Oh, sorry, it's not BC. It's AD. 711. Oh, this is the same time as Middle Ages. Wait, at the time when Europe is facing through that. Oh, and also the same time around, actually, 100 years. A century later, after the Roman Empire, the city of Rome was discovered, which was 1632 BCE. This is BCE. This is AD, right? That was AD. So I guess this is, yeah, I was right.
Themselves. And then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about themselves. Then they stopped moving the capital every time the emperor died and kept it in one place for a while.
Oh my god. Relatable. It's quite it's very unstable how the family matters are. Hold on, let me go back again. See that the Take reform makes the government govern more and make the government more like the China's government, which was emperor. Was it the imperial at the time? Still is.
Which is a government that governs more. Hi, China.
Yeah. This kind of reminded me of China and United States. Two different things. One is a Roman republic based, and also at the same time, republic democracy government is United States, and it's based on Roman governments, or at least their empire, how they are structured. China is quite the opposite. They're older, they at least survived, give or take, longer than Rome Empire. Rome Empire descended and then became two different empires. We got the Ottoman Empire, which is the oldest empire that followed originally descended from Constantine the Great when he created his own government since the Roman times, but it descended. That's how crazy it is. China survived even longer than Rome Empire, and even more recently, it kind of reminded me of the Prime Minister, the oldest Prime Minister of Italy passed away. It kind of reminded me of that too, because yeah, it's been like that. We got China, we got onto the doors in diplomatic affairs with Japan at the time, or at least not Japan at the time, but I forgot what the government would be called technically. Nanjing.
China, they said. Hi, dipshit, said China. Can you call us something else other than dipshit, said Japan. Like what, said China. How about Sunrise Land, said Japan. And they stole China's alphabet and wrote a book about themselves. And then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about themselves. Then they stopped moving the capital every time the emperor died and kept it in one place for a while, right here. And they conquered the north finally, get that squared away.
I would not say, actually, this would not be technically necessary. It's a waste of time. And even further, time won't be necessarily seen the same way to different people, the same way, if that makes sense. I butchered, but you can always go back to my video and recollect from what I just said. But I'm trying to recall what I just said from that previous video about the year 2023 AD is 2064 statement that I made from there in that vid. So I'm trying to recall that, and yeah, let's continue as we go.
Rich hipster and the royal palace Kai is bored with modern Buddhism, visits China, and learns a better version which is more spiritual. Comes back, reinvents the alphabet, and causes art and literature to be great for a long time. And the royal palace turned into such a dream world of art that they really didn't give a shit about running the country. So if you live outside the palace, how are you supposed to protect your shit from criminals?
That's a really good question. Really good question. How do you protect your assets, your tangible assets? Well, I'm guessing that their government at the time, when you're in that level of dilemma, now you start to think about property. How do you write laws so that your properties would not be having a risk judicially, to not be protected, preserved even? Okay, that's a good question. In this state, I'm guessing that they might have credit issues. Militarily, yes, they might have. At this time, I'm guessing that they had a military issue at their hand, and credit lended from them, or to them, really, excuse me, China giving them credit for their government to function. And the only way to do that is to seize. The Chinese government needs to seize these properties away from them, in respect that Japan either have to change their defense budget, or the way how they structure their defense bolstering at the time, which means hire more people to go fight in military. So that's the way how they do it. Or either that, or they could outsource their asset value in their defense budget, and the mercenaries in their hands. The only easier way to do that is probably, in this time, is probably partnership to a competitor. Maybe at this time I'm thinking of the other ones that invaded China at the time. You'll see.
Hire a samurai. Everyone started hiring samurai. Rich, important people hired samurai. Poor people who could not afford to hire samurai did not hire samurai.
Right.
The samurai became organized and powerful, more powerful than the government. So they made their own military government. Here, they let the emperor
Yep, they made it more centralized and follow command, or if you don't follow command, the emperor is gonna intervene, or if not, not militarily, but rather in a form of there's a specific term for it that I want to recall, which was, excuse me, what was that term? I was trying to recall. When an empire is, it's not subjugation, it's that other term I was thinking. There's a comment down in the description what that term is. I was trying to recall that term. Pardon me, I'm on the spot just making a video, so I find it's interesting. Emperor.
the shogunate. the shogun is actually in control.
Okay.
Breaking news, some Mongols have invaded China.
We've invaded China.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Yes, that was that. The Mongols, they should be partnered up with the Mongols to go against them. And instead, Mongols are like, no, we're gonna partner with China, and then eventually they'll possibly go for it.
China, said the Mongols.
Please respect us, or else we might invade you as well.
Okay, said Japan. So the Mongols came over, ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again and...
There's a game, Ghost of Tsushima is a good representation of this event. And matter of fact, the term is called the Tsushima War, I think, right?
had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in a tornado.
Okay.
Then the emperor overthrows the shogunate. Then the shogunate overthrows him back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new shogunate. And the emperor can still dress. Did China?
We've invaded China,
said the Mongols.
Please respect us, or else we might invade you as well.
Okay, said Japan. So the Mongols came over, ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in a tornado. Then the emperor overthrows the shogunate. Then said Japan. So the Mongols came over, ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in a tornado. Then the
twice? Oh my goodness.
emperor poetry.
This is why in military it's important to always look at your meteorological control, you know, like control weather, control environment, control type thing. That's why you see United States always have that type of capacity.
Okay, said Japan. So the Mongols
That's just United States. It's a reference point.
came over, ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in a tornado. Then the emperor overthrows the shogunate. Then the shogunate overthrows him back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new...
Oh, he partnered up with his subjugate. Oh, sorry, it's not the term. He partnered up with the crown prince of the lineage of the Roman the royal family to overthrow him. Shogun.
ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but then died in a tornado. Then the emperor overthrows the shogunate. Then the shogunate overthrows him back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new shogunate. And the emperor...
Oh my goodness. See what I'm saying?
can still dress like an emperor if he wants, that's fine. Now there's more art. Like painting with less colors, collaborative poetry, plays, monkey fun, tea parties, gardening, architecture,
Hey, matter of fact, let me stop here for a minute temporarily. Hey, if you guys have some fan arts or whatever, just send it in send it to the communities tab. I'll just go check it out. I'll probably even put it into the next live stream or the other live stream after that. But yeah, please do send some art. I want to see what that looks like. Matter of fact, you can go to my other channel and take that photo of my photo of the profile picture and then make art about it, or you could just take a photo of me right now and create something out of it, or I could probably post something on the community page, or you could just take that and create something about it. Please do send some art from Japan or Switzerland or whatever, wherever have you been in, even in Austria as well. I don't mind.
new shogunate. And the emperor can still dress like an emperor if he wants, that's fine.
Okay.
Now there's more art. Like so he burned down. The quit being a monk and poetry, plays, monkey fun, tea parties, gardening, architecture, flowers. It's time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's the shogun's kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid, so he tries to get his brother to
Oh yeah, this is what we call succession war. When royal families are going against each other. Succession war happens only when the future of the dynasty might fail. This is the highest level of failure in governance, in when everything is so limited to the materials of the government is lower, income is lower, people are becoming more taking more attention to that situation, debt increasing, care, hence their income decreasing, their debt on family household increasing, and also maybe military issues or whatnot have you. This is the highest level of governments failing. Like, say for example, the famous succession wars are Spain succession war was, and now I think the recent is Japan and South Korea and China going against each other right now to have rights of EEE zone. That would be the next succession war, but I'm not talking about royal families here. I'm talking about diplomacy, because right now we're in a more stable condition. So they're trying to occupy Taiwan, and Taiwan is the succession issue happening. China sees it as an internal thing. Japan sees it as a island that they occupied before and then left, hence having that treaty broken. That they had a treaty about it using for fishing and whatnot have you, resource allocation problems they had, so they need to increase the EE zone, which they did, and now they might start a war about it because of it. So it is what it is. So matter of fact, if you're more curious about this situation, I would suggest you to go look at your local news or whatnot have you. As long as they're accurate, make sure to go check that out. If not, it's fine. Right, so succession wars with two kings.
Collaborative poetry, plays, monkey fun, tea parties, gardening, architecture, flowers.
Did he just say monkey? Oh, no. Did he just say monkey?
It's time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's the shogun's kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid, so he tries to get his brother to quit being a monk and be the next shogun. He says okay, but then the shogun has a kid. So now who's it going to be? Time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's the shogun's kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid.
Matter of fact, this is interesting. He could have created this type of segment and make this into a show if he wants to. I find this interesting.
So he tries to get his brother to quit being a monk and be the next shogun. He says okay, but then the shogun has a kid. So now who's it going to be? Vote now on your phones. And everyone voted so hard that the palace caught on fire and burned down.
True. They voted. They don't want to be one or the other. They don't want to even vote at it. Matter of fact, whose sides are you on right now? Actually, I'm gonna post a poll in there. Which one would you vote? The original shogun or the shogun's brother? Which one are you?
Quit being a monk and be the next shogun.
I'll put that into the description or the communities tab or something. And make sure to go check it out.
He says okay, but then the shogun has a kid. So now who's it going to be? Vote now on your phones. And everyone voted so hard that the palace caught on fire and burned down. The shogun actually didn't care. He was off somewhere doing poetry. And the whole country broke into pieces. Everyone is fighting with each other for local power, and it's...
And there you go. Those are good results. The results of succession wars. More governments, a better representation of what people voice, more people demising, getting killed, getting, thrown to the side. What classes are more important, which one is not? And it just keeps going repeating it all the time. Loop.
Anybody's game. Knock knock, it's Europe. No, they're not here to take over. They just want to sell some shit, like clocks, and guns, and Jesus. So that's cool, but everyone's still fighting each other for control, now with guns. And wouldn't it be nice to control the capital, which right now is puppets, with no one controlling them?
Okay, I'll stop here. Hey, if you want to go check out that video, I'll put that onto go check it out. I already posted a video about it. Go check that out.
This clan is ready to make a run for it, but first they
The Christianity one I'm talking about.
have to trample this smaller clan, which is in the way. Surprise, the smaller clan wins, and the leader of that clan steals the idea of invading the capital and invades the capital, and it goes very well.
Well, that's a good example. I mean, they break apart, and then now we have this guy who is suffering enough to suffer to. Actually, he suffered enough, but he wants to create a journey about the suffering. So he did. And look at this nonsense.
Well, he's about halfway through conquering Japan when someone who works for him kills him, and then someone else who works for him kills them, and that guy finishes conquering Japan. And then he confiscated everybody's swords, and made some rules. And now I'm going to invade Korea.
This is a really good example. This is completely... Oh my god.
Korea, and then hopefully China, he said, and failed, and also died. But before he died, he told these 5 guys to take care of his 5-year-old son until he's old enough to be the next ruler of Japan. And the 5 guys said, yeah, right, it's not going to be this kid, it's going to be one of us, because we're grown-ups.
No, bro. No, bro. No, he's not. He's not, no. It's neither one of you. Time is not valued the same. Sorry, time isn't valued to different people the same way. So neither of them are right.
And it's probably going to be this guy, who happens to be way more rich and powerful than the others. A lot of people support him, but a lot of people support not supporting him. They have a fight, and he wins, and starts a new government, right here. And he still lets the emperor dress like an emperor, and have very nice things. But don't get confused, this is the new government, and they are very strict. So strict they closed the country. No one can leave, and no one can come in. Except for the Dutch, if they want to buy and sell shit. But
Yeah, this is a new form of government that was not more discovered, or rather totalitarian approach of things.
they have to do it right here. Now that the entire country was not at war with itself, the population increased a lot. Business increased, schools were built, roads were built, everyone learned to read.
That means the debt been paid off. If the debt been paid off militarily, they would have military issues. How they're going to be firing people, not hiring mercenaries anymore, because now they have more people. They need more families. So they have people on the line.
Books were published. There was poetry, plays, sexy times, puppet shows, and Dutch studies. People started to study European science from books they bought from the Dutch. We're talking geography, skeletons, physics.
Wow, that's fantastic. Physics, now that's my favorite.
Chemistry, astronomy, and maybe even electricity. Over time, the economic and cultural prosperity began to gradually slow down.
Yeah.
Knock knock. It's the United States, with huge boats, with guns. Gunboats. Open the country. Stop having it be closed, said the United States. There's really nothing they could do, so they signed a contract that lets the United States, Britain, and Russia visit Japan anytime they want. Choshu and Satsuma hated this. That sucks, they said. This sucks. And with almost very little outside help, they overthrew the show.
I'll stop here because I know people in Japan feel bad about that, where other people, other countries are coming in and eventually taking over and say, hey, look, we have rights to build military bases here and there and whatnot. They feel bad about it. Actually, matter of fact, they hate it. I know for sure. I've seen a documentary about it, matter of fact.
Shogunate, and somehow made the emperor again, and
I would not support neither. That's just my position.
moved him to Edo, which they renamed Eastern Capital. They made a new government, which was a lot more Western. They made a new constitution that was pretty Western, and a military that was pretty Western. And do you know what else is Western? That's right, it's conquering stuff. So what can we conquer? Korea. They conquer Korea, taking it from its previous owner, China, and then go a little bit further. And Russia rushes in out of nowhere and says,
I guess Japan now becomes a creditor. Japan became a creditor now. All of a sudden, they need to take properties for no reason. Or if not, it's probably influenced culturally and limited.
stop, no, you can't take it. So Japan and Great Britain, great. And Japan says, can you maybe chill? And Russia says, how about maybe you chill? Japan is kind of scared of Russia. You'll never guess who's also kind of scared of Russia. Great Britain. So Japan and Great Britain make an alliance together so they can be a little less scared of Russia. Feeling confident, Japan goes
Interesting. I did not know about that.
to war against Russia, just for a moment, and then they both get tired and stop. It's time for World War I. The world is about to have a war, because it's the 1900s and weapons are getting crazy, and all these empires are excited to try them out on each other. Meanwhile, Japan has been enjoying.
Okay, no, they would be taking a hit they would be taking a hit diplomatically.
And conquering stuff and wants more. And the next thing on their list is this part of China and lots of tiny islands. All that stuff belongs to Germany, which just had war declared on it by Britain because Britain was friends with Belgium, which was being trespassed by Germany in order to get to France to kick France's ass because France is friends with Russia, who was getting ready to kick Austria's ass because Austria was getting ready to kick Serbia's ass because someone from Serbia shot the leader of Austria's ass. Or actually shot him in the head. And Britain is currently friends with Japan, so you know what that means. Duh, Japan should take the islands, which they wanted to do anyway, so they called Britain on the telly to sort of let them know. And then they did it.
I do not support it. No.
And they also helped Britain a little here and there with some errands and stuff. Now the war is over, and congratulations, Japan, you technically fought in the war, which means you get to sit at the negotiating table with the big dudes, where they decided who owns what. And yes, Japan gets to keep all that shit they stole from Germany. You also get to join the post-war mega-alliance, the League of Nations, whose mission statement is to try not to take over the world.
Wait, so they were in the Allies and then now they change in the Second World War. Yeah, that is...
The Great Depression is bad, and Japan's economy is now crappy, but the military is doing just fine, and it invades Manchuria. And the League of Nations is like, no, don't do that. If you're in the League of Nations, you're not supposed to take over the world. And Japan said, how about I do anyway? And Japan invaded more and more and more and more of China, and was planning to invade the entire East.
You've got mail.
It's from Germany, the new leader of Germany. He has a cool mustache.
No, I do not want to get this channel demonetized, okay? No.
Friends are not friends, plus they're planning on invading the entire ocean. The United States is also working on a large, very huge bomb, bigger than any other bomb.
Okay, relax, chill out, okay, chill out, I understand. Yeah, but this is insane. No, I mean, that's a heavy topic.
Yes, and then Germany, as a symbol of friendship, declares war on the United States also. So the United States goes to war in Europe, and they help the gang chase Germany back into Germany, and they also start chasing Japan back into Japan.
Yeah.
And they haven't used the bomb yet and are curious to see if it works, so they drop it on Japan. They actually dropped 2.
Oh my god. No! Oh my goodness. Bro, oh my god. No. There was a documentary about I've seen a documentary about a pilot that said something about smelling of flesh in 80,000 feet in the air as a bomber pilot. Man's launched an atomic bomb, and he says he smells of flesh 80,000 feet in the air.
The United States installed a new government, inspired by the United States government, with just...
Why?
They actually dropped 2.
Actually, I think it is necessary in a good way, but in a bad way, it's what do you? I don't know. I'll just stop. When you have greed and pride together mixed, this is what happens.
The United States installed a new government, inspired by the United States government, with just the right ingredients for a post-war economic miracle. And Japan starts making TVs, VCRs, automobiles, and camcorders as fast as they can.
Okay, I'll stop there. Man, that's insane.
And also better than everybody else. They get rich, and the economy goes wild, and then the miracle wears off. But everything's still pretty cool, I guess. Bye!
Bro, what is this nonsense? Man's literally said he casually came in and said atomic bomb, and he's like, he left. What is good? Oh my god. Are we the same in United States to say that too? Or at least that's how Japanese people see us to be like, hey, just we don't understand you, or just say something random and just leave. No.
New government. It's also and the United States is really starting to care about their image. But then Japan spits on them in Hawaii and challenges them to war, and they say yes. And then Germany, as a symbol of friendship, declares war on the United States also. So the United States goes to war in Europe, and they help the gang chase Germany back into Germany, and they also start chasing Japan back into Japan. And they haven't used the bomb yet and are curious to see if it works, so they drop it on Japan. They actually drop 2.
What are you doing? Okay, no.
The United States installed a new government, inspired by the United States government. Everybody else, they get...
Stop. Oh my God. Hey, yo, Japanese people, bro, don't say that. Yo, I swear to God, I'm sorry. Don't ever do that, bro. Hey, don't ever say, I'm not saying ever, but like, you know what I'm saying? Just don't think every Americans are like this, okay? Please don't. Same with me thinking about all Japanese, you know what I'm saying? No, that's a no-no. Pride and greed, and you mix it, nah, bro, we're not gonna have that. Not in this channel anyway, or any channel. Oh, no. Okay, this is insane.
The United States installed a new government, inspired by the United States government, with just the right ingredients for a post-war economic miracle. And Japan starts making TVs, VCRs, automobiles, and camcorders as
Ooh, look at that. Oh,
the new government, inspired by the United States government, with just the right ingredients for a post-war economic miracle. And Japan starts making TVs, VCRs,
yes, JVC.
automobiles, and camcorders.
Oh, yes. Matter of fact, I'm thinking of upgrading my camera to Fuji camera or something, V10s or something. I forgot what the brand what the model is. If I should, and if you continue watching this video, and if I continue posting, that equal that, okay? Please do continue watching.
As fast as they can, and also better than everybody else. They get rich, and the economy goes wild, and then the miracle wears off. But everything's still pretty cool, I guess. Bye!
Man's just, okay, alright, I'll leave it there. Hey, yo. Oh my God. Oh, alright. Thank you for watching, and this is something different, man. Hey, should I like that? I'm not gonna subscribe, but if you guys want me to get, actually, you know what? If you want me to get the Fuji camera or whatnot, continue watching. I'll make a vid about it if possible, or Canon, either one of those two camera, whatever brands, and I'll probably continue subscribing and liking this channel if you guys get me to 3,000 in 2018 subscription or subscribers into this channel. Get me to there, and I'll probably like and subscribe to this channel. And that's insane. What other things did he post recently though? That was 7 years ago. Wow, that's insane. This man's he's pretty good. Okay, what did he post? Oh, okay. How to put a rabbit outside of a hat? Oh yeah, actually, I would have done the same thing. But instead of meeting me in September, meet me getting 190 million views in 2025. Alright guys, this is interesting vid, and I appreciate it if you like, subscribe, share this video. You don't need to comment at all unless you have fan arts of my, of me, or screenshot it and then create some fan art, send it there onto the communities tab. I'll link this video in the description. I find this really interesting. He got 5.4 million views. Oh, sorry, subscribers. Excuse me. Not bad, not shabby. Hey, I'm gonna link his channel down in the description. More like his video. From there, you could go to his channel though. Yeah. So, thank you for watching, and peace out.